I remember I cried in my car, dude. He goes back on stage. He's like, guys, he's 17. And they're like, boo!
Dustin, thank you so much for stopping by,
Thanks, bro.
Oh, my God. They had a guy in the theater the other day. And you know, like when older people, and I'm getting older, but I'm talking about like 70, to be alerted they have that flashlight on that when it rings, it flashes the light.
Oh, yeah, a little strobe.
So we're in a
thing.
movie, and it's just
no.
strobing off, and the guy doesn't know how to turn it off, and he's sitting in the front, so everybody's seeing it. It's the same people that come to these comedy shows and leave on their phone and it starts ringing, or their Ring doorbell starts going off.
Dude, yeah, I think they do that on purpose sometimes, you know, just to be like part of the show.
What happens if they do that, but their phone is locked up in a case?
Oh, dude, you're done, man. Because it's with you in the showroom, right?
I know, and you can't open it.
That's a big thing.
They must, like the people that check, they must check to make sure it's, because that would be a nightmare.
Horrible.
Can you imagine Dave Chappelle, like in his last special, a phone call?
Oh, dude, that'd be tough. Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, I love, what movie did you go see?
Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles.
Well, my son, he loves some Ninja Turtles, bro.
I love Ninja Turtles.
What's crazy is he's into the things I'm into now, because early 2000s, everything comes back around.
Like it does, right?
It does. Like now, Christina Aguilera, that she was in a video called Dirty. That look is back that she wore in that video, kind of like this rugged, little skimpy stuff that's like makes you look tough, but you're not tough. You're pretty.
Yes.
And then so all that stuff is coming back, but our movies are coming back because they're seeing they can make a lot of. Anytime something appeals to an adult and a child at the same time. Yeah. That's money.
Yes, that is, dude.
That's why Taylor Swift is so big, because mothers can sing with her songs and their daughters.
Oh, yeah. She made $1 billion. $2
billion off her tour or something.
Dude, that's like a country, man.
Dude.
That's like better than a lot of countries.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And not to compare her to Beyonce, but Beyonce came here, day of show, lots of tickets left, right? Taylor Swift sold out months before, both shows, like, through the roof, couldn't get a ticket. And the news, the way they covered it, she just took over Las Vegas. Like they changed signs for, they changed signs for the news. Like she brought this excitement.
It's like Hurricane Hillary, man.
No, like Hurricane Swift.
Hurricane
Swift. It's like that because I've never seen so much, and it was truthful. Like people were really excited.
Oh, it's one of those things, even if you're not a fan of something, if you're like a lot of commotions happening about it, you're like, oh, whoa, you know, I'm not even involved here, but it's like, I got to see what's going on with this Taylor Swift thing.
I respect the hustle, you know, or I respect, man, you created something where people are so rabid about it. Like they had 6-hour lines to get merch the day before the show.
Oh, that's crazy, dude.
Can you imagine that?
No. That's like another level, bro.
That's 6 hours, bro.
Yeah. I got to work on singing.
Right?
Yeah. I got to work on my vocal lessons.
And that's another thing. If you're a comic, you don't like singers because they can sing the same song for the rest of their life and everybody wants to hear it.
But, dude, right? And then, because it's like some comics don't want to repeat jokes and it's like, dude, come on. It's not like Stairway to Heaven. Your joke isn't Hey Jude. Yeah. You know? Like, just do it again, man.
But like a lot of people, if they heard a joke a couple times, they're like, no, I don't want to hear that joke again. Yeah. But music, I mean, you could play a bunch of different, like you could play Aerosmith for the rest of any artist really that has a big song. They could play that song for the rest of their life.
Oh, dude, Aerosmith is gonna be around forever.
Yeah,
like, I bet you the hologram comes out before he dies.
Do you think? Speaking about can you imagine? He's like, "Yo, what? That's me.
What do you do? No, I'm here to take your job.
Yeah, right.
I'm a hologram.
AI
man.
is like, move over, Steven. I'm the younger Steven. But do you think they'll ever do that with comics?
Like holograms?
Hologram shows.
For sure. Definitely. Without a doubt, man. And then here's what they'll probably do. They'll put into like Chat GPT or something, do like what Dave Chappelle, Chat GPT, and it'll write all the material. And this is like, we're talking like probably like 50 years from now.
No, you're talking probably like 10 years.
10 years, you think?
But the thing is, joke writing is a lot different. I mean, we've all gone to Chat GPT. I've seen comedians do it, say, write jokes in my voice, and then they read them on stage.
Yes.
A lot of comics do that. But See, I was talking about phones, and my phone is on. My phone is on.
The professionalism,
I know.
Michael.
So, yeah, it doesn't get. It knows facts and stuff, but it doesn't have a personality, really. You know what I mean? It can't. It doesn't experience life. It experiences life through books, which is very interesting about ChatGPT, because you see like a person that's just book smart, like, but has no. Like, is socially awkward.
Yes,
it's kind of like ChatGPT.
ChatGPT has Asperger's, pretty much.
Yeah,
it's got that weird, like, okay, you're not really all there, are you, ChatGPT?
No, and it shows you how awkward it can get. Well, ChatGPT, you ask it a question and it'll give you an answer. You're like, yo, I wasn't even trying to go that way.
Yeah, you're crazy,
what is that?
ChatGPT.
You're just spitting out crazy stuff right now.
Yeah, man.
I want to talk about last night real quick.
Okay.
And then I want to get to you. Last night we performed at the Comedy Cellar.
We did.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I've never had two crowds back to back like that. The first one I powered through and I felt it was okay, but the crowd loved it. It's just like always, they leave and love it. I felt it was okay because they kept interrupting.
Yeah,
and
they were rowdy. I could tell. You can watch the MC too and just be like, whoa, there's got to be one of those, man.
Yeah.
I'm a power througher too, you know?
I am too.
I love the power through. I don't like if it gets to a certain level where it's like, all right, I have to address this, but like I just try to put the gas pedal down.
I try to avoid it, but after that first show, I powered through, did well. Second show, it was kind of like I was done.
Yeah.
I was just like, people were just yelling inappropriately at inappropriate times. And I think the problem is too, I'm trying to work on new stuff and I can't work. The only reason I'm there is to work on new stuff and try to build this next special. And them just yelling out the whole time and drunk yelling.
I don't mind.
Yeah. I power through a lot of, we call it positive heckling. You know, they like it so much, they interrupt you all the time. Like, oh my God, that's me. Oh, this is great. Did you hear? Like, that I'll power through. But when it's drunk.
So drunk last night. Yeah.
During my set last night, a girl threw up.
Yes.
I got in a verbal combat with two girls in the back of the room because they were just yelling out stuff.
Yeah, a little bit racist too. Did you hear that? They were going there, man.
A little bit racist.
That's how you can tell someone's super drunk,
Super drunk.
If it's like, that's how they should do like DUI checkpoints. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of a breathalyzer, it's like, so how do you feel about Asians? Well.
Then that would be better on videotape too. It would ruin their whole life. Anyway, so yeah, it was kind of racist. And I was just like, all right. So I powered through one girl. And then two other girls jumped in on the other side.
Bro, yes.
And then, so from both sides, I'm getting it from these 4 Karens. And then one of the Karens throws up. And they're picking her up. This is all during my set.
Yeah, and they're cleaning it during your set too. Like a lady's coming in with like a mop bucket, and they're cleaning. So you got like a bunch of fires in different areas.
And people are like, what the hell is going on right now?
Yeah.
Like you got throw up, you got them kicking out 4 people at one time. And then you got a third of the audience locked in and loves the show. Maybe 2/3, but the outside ring, because it all happened on the outside.
It was on the outside. There wasn't anyone in the front. It was always,
because they can't see you.
Yes,
you can't see them.
At the cellar too, you can't see the whole crowd. You can see like the first few rows. In the back, it's just like these random drunk heckles coming around.
And I always tell myself this. I hate, because I get that. I don't get it a lot, but it irritates me. You know what I mean? But I'm trying. It didn't work last night, but I'm trying to actually, instead of attacking, more of spinning it in a nice way. But they were so drunk. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you even saying? Like, I was like, what? Why? You know, like that kind of.
Yeah, well, in your mind, you're like, I want to come up with something clever right now and say, but then it's like, dude, you guys have interrupted me like 5 times, man. Like, at what point?
And she wouldn't stop.
No, dude, they got kicked out. They wouldn't stop. Yeah, I'm glad they do that too. I'm glad when people, sometimes you got to kick a person out.
But my thing is, I hate that it even got to that point. Like, this girl, because I know when they walked in, they were drunk. Because I was second on the show. It's not like they got drunk in 10 minutes, 15 mintes.
No, that was, you could tell they were day drinking. That probably started with a brunch.
Yeah.
That was brunch drunk, you know?
All the ladies came in drunk brunch. Of course, man. It makes total sense. And it's Vegas, so that's why I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
But when you come to a point where you're just like yelling just to be yelling, you know, it's kind of like those wooers, people that woo.
Yeah.
Like, woo, woo. It's like, no, like during the show, you're like, yo, that's annoying. And the thing about wooing, you're not helping the show at all.
Nah. Yeah, I think they just the dudes want to woo. And so they go to a place where they can woo with it not being crazy, you know?
But why would a guy, like, that's so awkward for me just to be in an audience liking something and go, woo, woo. Like, there's wooers.
Yeah, there's whistlers. Whistlers are a little crazier than wooers, man.
What's the worst you ever got heckled on stage?
The worst I've ever gotten heckled. This was probably, when I first started, when I was probably like a few months in, and I did, it was at the Addison Improv, and there was a show.
Love that place, by the way.
Oh, it's awesome.
Great
yeah.
club. Great club.
It's a show called Fat Tuesdays, and it was like an all urban room, you know?
Oh, man.
And yeah, dude. And they don't, oh, man. They
don't play.
They don't play at
Man,
all.
no.
Yeah, because before I was, you know, I was a 17-year-old kid, you know, cute, I got it. And they're like, boo! I got booed off stage, man.
You got booed off stage?
I got booed off stage, yeah.
Wow. And you probably like worked on that material.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
you know,
It was like in that mode whenever you first start and you're like, you eat, breathe, just everything is comedy, you know? So all day, you know, I was at my little locksmith job and I was just writing down jokes. I'm like, oh, I'm going to kill it tonight. I'm going to kill it tonight. I remember I cried in my car, dude. And the MC was Joe Fox, man. You know Joe Fox?
I don't know Joe, no.
Dude, because Joe, he's like, he goes back on stage. He's like, guys, he's 17. And they're like, boo! It was crazy, man.
So you cried in your car.
I cried in my car, yeah.
How long did it take you to go back on stage after that?
I like the next day.
Oh, see, that's great.
Yeah, dude.
You didn't give up, bro.
No, man. I was, you know, because it's like I had that drive. You know that drive whenever you first start, you're like, boom, boom, boom. You listen to some Kanye West or something, get all pumped up.
That's
like,
when he was making phenomenal,
inspirational music.
Amazing
music,
like
dude.
College Dropout. One of the best albums ever.
Man.
Ever. So inspirational, too.
Yeah. You just, you're listening to like Eminem or something, you know, that whole,
Mom Spaghetti.
Mom Spaghetti, yeah. My mom made the worst spaghetti, too. So that's me.
That's me. So, so you bomb, you go up. When did you feel like, okay, I can make a career out of this? Because you've been in some movies, but you concentrated on comedy first and got good at it? Or was it kind of like, I'm okay in comedy, I'm good enough to move to LA, but acting kind of took over? What happened for you? What was the order of it?
It's kind of just like whatever is available, man. Yeah. Seriously. Like I remember, you know, I started doing stand-up in Dallas. Then when I was probably like 21, I moved to New York. And then, you know, your stand-up gets better. But that's where I got like agents and like manager and all that. And then, the first thing, because I didn't have any acting experience besides like high school theater, you know? So I went into my first audition. It was for like this Comcast commercial, and I booked it, you know? So it's like...
Do you remember the line? Did you have any lines?
I just had to... I was watching a football game. It was like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you know? Like, stuff like that. And, I booked it, and then, like, they sent me for, like, an audition for this, like, independent film, and I booked that. So I like had a bunch of heat. They were like, man, this guy's good, you know? So I just started booking things. And
was this in New York?
This was in New York. Okay. And then I moved to LA like about a year into New York because I got this pilot, or I tested for this pilot, and they flew me out. And then I just stayed in LA because I didn't really have a place to live in New York at the time. So I like friends in LA.
Now, did you feel like, are you the type of person, because there's two different actors, ones that study the art of acting and go to classes all the time, and then there's some like Jennifer Lawrence goes, I do me, and if they like it, they like it. If they don't, which side of the fence are you on
I
that?
was very like kind of like I did with stand up, you know, just kind of learn as you go type, like learn while you're on set. Like I remember the first movie I did, I didn't know what I was doing, man. I was freaking out. Then like the more you do it, the easier it gets, you know. just like stand up, just like anything in life, you know, you get experience, you get more comfortable. And I was into like I would study acting and stuff.
But when you say study, what does study? You would go to class, or you would watch, or you would read books?
I would go to classes. I took some acting classes, and then I would also just kind of like, you know, with YouTube, you could just like look at like just tips and stuff.
Everything's on there.
Yeah, and then it's like a kind of the character that I play. Like I'm not Daniel Day-Lewis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm usually going in for a certain part.
Party guy.
Party guy, yeah. Best friend. Sometimes like nerdy guy in the van on CSI. Like, oh, he's coming up right behind. Oh, yeah, guys. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the dudes will be like looking at a case or something. They're like, what does this all mean? And I'm like, oh, you guys like Pokemon? Wait, what? Yeah, that's a Pokemon card. That's the killer. What? Tell us all about Pokemon. Oh, you don't know Charizard, you know? And then like finds the killer. Like I'm like that dude, you know? So I kind of, in that, I'm always like, I'm playing myself pretty much. Like a different version of myself, but it's all like Dustin, you know?
That's one of the best pieces of advice. When I moved to LA from Joe Rogan, because I was in the first episode of Fear Factor. That's how we met, like 21, 22 years ago.
That's crazy.
And he goes, acting, and he was on news radio at that time, I think, the show. And he goes, all acting is, but he's kind of like you. When you're a comic, you kind of get casted for yourself because they know your body of work. They're bringing you in because they know how you are. Does that make sense? And when you're a straight actor, they've seen what you do through acting. You know, they say, oh, he can play this guy. He can play that. With comedy, they know, they go, oh, rather than could he play this with an actor, they go, oh, he's the guy. He's this guy. Because basically your life is in a special or in a clip and they know who you are. So when they bring you in, like what's interesting for me, when they bring me in, they know exactly what I deliver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just got to nail the lines and do good. And if pretty much all the time, if I nail it and feel right about it and I have the look they want, you know, because it depends on the rest of the cast too. I booked that job because they know who you are.
They do, yeah. And it's usually, if
because
they're looking
we're not
for a
Daniel
certain
Day-Lewis
type.
right now. Yeah.
Not yet, yeah. And I mean, that happens later. You know, I'm sure I'll play like some like, I don't know, transvestite hooker one day that's got like a drinking problem or something. But like right now,
I
it's
can
just
see it.
like,
I can see it.
right? Yeah, a little lipstick, you know.
You and Jason Momoa in a movie, you know, Odd Couple.
It's my
type of
Oscar
thing.
type thing. Yeah,
Odd Couple. You know, he's fine. Yeah, I can see it.
We should remake Twins, me and Jason Momoa. That'd be good.
That would be good. Yeah, Jason, you listening, Jason? We got it right here.
Yeah, whoa.
Or you and Jack Black. I know you don't like to be compared to Jack Black, but
I don't care. I mean, it's one of those things. Like, yeah, I look like
you can't
Jack
help
Black,
what you look like.
You
know?
can't, man. Maybe I should get some plastic surgery or something. Could be worse.
No, it could be. It could be. Like I get compared to The Rock all the time, but you know.
You can compare it to The Rock?
Never. I would be the Pebble though. I could be the Pebble.
I like it.
Yeah, I could do what is it? The same movie with what's it called? Twins or
Twins
with The Rock. Me and The Rock.
You could, yeah. I like how you and I too. We've got this kind of like racially ambiguous thing going on.
Nobody knows what we are, man.
You know, I like that in your bit. You talk about like going to Hawaii and like welcome home. You know, dude. When I'm in Hawaii, I look very like islandy.
You look like you just walked off the ocean.
Yes, dude. People are so nice. I ham it up to him like aloha, bro.
brada. I love Hawaii.
I love Hawaii too. You know what I love about Hawaii? They don't believe in like science. You know? Like,
what I love about Hawaii, they respect elders.
They do, man.
It's such a loving culture, and it's just like brada.
Well, I like how too. It's like you ask Hawaii, like if you ask like someone in the States, like a scientist, like how are those mountains made? They'll be like, oh, geological shifts and that. But if you ask a Hawaiian, how are those mountains made? They're like, there once was a big fish, and a princess, and the princess got angry, and it's like this whole story about it.
And cut the fish up and threw it everywhere, and it became mountains.
Yes, bro. Yeah, it's a fun story, man.
No, I love it, man. Man, you know, I was there with my family probably. I did the Blue Note out there, which is an amazing place. And it was the first time me and my son got to play in the ocean where I trusted him not drowning.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he still had the floaties on and everything. But to see the pure joy he had, like the belly laughs. Oh man, it's something that I will remember for the rest of my life.
I love that. Dude, I love good, clean fun, man.
Yeah.
Like like I was playing with a drone one time and I was like, man, this is just good, clean fun right
There you go. There you go. Well, now
it'd be more fun if I had some blow, but
right. Now speaking about, so I saw you started coming to the Comedy Cellar like a year ago.
Year and a couple years ago.
A couple years ago. So I've seen you elevate your game. And it's so good. Like your set is hitting on all cylinders right now. Like it's pretty amazing to watch. Because I saw you when the first couple times it was good. But now it's just like boom, boom. It feels like you're on it more.
I am on it.
Does that
more.
make sense?
Yeah.
And it's no disrespect, but it feels like it's coming together now.
Yeah.
What is the cause of that?
Well, I mean, I got sober like a year ago, and that like really that helped everything in my life. Like I was a big, I started my alcoholism. It kind of like runs in my family,
Yep.
and I didn't start drinking young. I started drinking like in my 20s, and then I would use it kind of like as a crutch. Like I would get nervous and stuff, so I'd use it before I went up, and it would make me like less nervous. And I felt like it's like, oh, okay, I can do this better, But it's like it's kind of a big liar, you know what I'm saying? Because you think you're doing great, and sometimes you do have like killer sets when you're drinking. Then other times, like it was like, whoa, what happened there, man? Like I would get fired and shit, and like it was just towards the end, it was just like really bad. I was doing
what made you say, okay, I got to change?
A few just different things, man.
But was there one or it was like a couple of things?
I got fired from a few gigs, and then I back to back.
So you had a weekend gig,
yeah,
and then they fired you before the
midweek, yeah, and then there was some shows I couldn't even because like alcoholism is like a progressive thing, It doesn't start out like boom, you're just doing shots. It's like a progressive thing, and with me, it like progressed to the point where in the morning I had to drink like as soon as I got up because I just had to, I couldn't function without it. And so I would go to like, say I had a gig in like Arizona or something. I would get up, I would drink at my apartment, I'd get on the plane, I would drink at the airport, and then I would, I'd try to find drugs or something, and then I would just keep drinking, man. And then sometimes I would get to the place and they're like, you can't go up. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I'm going to kill. And it's like, dude, you're drunk. And like, it was just bad, man.
And that happened multiple weeks in a row?
Yes. And then
did your agent call you? What was that?
I was good at keeping things hidden, like really good, man. And people like because people knew me before I started drinking. So it's like sober Dustin, like, helped drunk Dustin a lot just because they knew it's like, that's not that guy. What's he doing? Like something is going on there. There's something off. And I would just be like, the big thing that happened, like there was a few big things when I had a seizure.
Oh man.
And it was like, I was in the hospital and it was like, just one of those like, dude, you gotta stop. And I went to rehab the next day and it was,
who was there for your support?
Just a support group, you know. I had, comics helped me out a lot.
Good deal.
Because there's a lot of comics who, just artists, you go through this thing, which it can happen to anyone. You know,
100%.
It's like whether you be a plumber or carpenter or like a movie producer, alcoholism is not like it's not prejudice, it'll go. And it got bad, dude. And I was just like, they call it a rock bottom, and I hit that. And then I went to rehab. And
how long were you in there for?
30 days.
Okay.
And I started just working a program in there. And you just kind of like, because life, for me, I started stand up when I was like 16, just to like, I finally felt like I was part of something, I never felt cool in school, I couldn't hang out with people. I was in a religion where I couldn't make friends, I didn't know my dad. I just had all these things that I had a lot of like just unresolved stuff, and that shit catches up with you, man. And then you put drugs and alcohol on top of that. It's disaster, dude. And I was like a pinball in life. You know, I was letting life just pop, 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 just bounce. Oh, I got to go to LA, got to go to New York, got to do this. And I didn't want to take a break. Like, cause when it was starting up, whenever it was like getting bad, I was like, I wonder if I should like go to rehab or something. But then your mind is like, no, but then I'll miss this gig. I'll miss this, you know, I'll do this. People will know that I'm a drunk, you know, and it'll just be bad. Everyone's going to talk about it. You got just all this fear and stuff, you know, and you finally hit a point where you just like, they call it surrender, where you're just like, done. I've got no, you know, it's either this or death, you know, those are the only two. And I was having friends at the time that were overdosing a lot. Yeah. And I was just at that point where I was just like, I was doing a lot of drugs, and I was like, you just kind of you're like, okay, this could be laced with fentanyl or something, but if it happens, it happens. You know, my life is shit right now.
And that's interesting, because to a lot of people, you've had more success than a lot of comics as far as like being in movies, being on television shows. You know, like a lot of comics don't even get that opportunity.
Yeah, but it's like, I didn't have like a lot of gratitude, you know?
Yeah.
You got to there's like things that I do now every day to like make sure that I don't go back to that, you know? And one of them is like, I got a little gratitude list, you know? Just wake up in the morning, write some things I'm grateful for. I pray, meditate. I just do what I need to do so that I don't ever have to go back there. Cause that's one of those things that you're just like, every day was hell. It was just, your life sucks. And you don't know how to get out of it. And then you say, I want to stop, but you can't stop. You hit that point where you just can't. And you wake up and you're like, God, what have I done? Why is this happening? Why? And then, yeah, you just hit that point of surrender. And, you know, it takes work. It takes maintenance. It takes like a daily thing, you know, and you got to get out of yourself. Like I got to get out of Dustin, you know, and try to help someone else. Because if you're helping someone else, then you're out of yourself, you know? And it's cool because what I do now, I do these like this thing where I can talk to like other people who have this same issue. I'll go to like panels and stuff and talk, and I'll try jokes out. You know, I'll be like, yeah. I'll talk a little bit about it in my act and everything. But really, it's like, yeah, you gotta have gratitude. You gotta be grateful for just like everything that you have today, because this day is all that we have right now. This moment, right now, this is what we got.
I saw a cool T-shirt yesterday. A girl was wearing it at a coffee shop. She was at the register, and all it said was "Here right now," and it had a circle on it. Basically, when you read it, you're like, "We're here right now." This is what, you know. So it kind of like takes you out of this. I'm in a coffee shop. I got to run around.
Yes.
And I read it and I was just like, oh, I love your shirt. She goes,
yeah.
Thank you. You know, so it's kind of like, because a lot of times in this industry and in life, no matter what industry you're in, you have, like you said, gratitude. You don't really applaud yourself for for the movement you made. And what I mean by that is, everybody comes to Hollywood and goes, I want to be a star, right? If that's your goal. But you need to make realistic goals like, oh, I just want to get the right acting coach. Then I want to get an agent. Then I want to book a small role. So instead of I want to be a superstar, being bummed you're not a superstar, you're like, oh, I got an agent. So you're always making steps instead of the grand finale.
Yeah,
you know?
dude. And I was always wanting that. I have this wanting of more, you know? I need more.
Well, I mean, you can have that, but you have to have gratitude. Like you
gotta
said.
have gratitude.
Because if you just want more and you're not happy with what you accomplished, like I learned that too. You know, I've never been into drugs or alcohol, but mentally you're like, why are people getting stuff I'm not getting? You know, there's a lot of that in our business.
And it's a lot, dude. It is a mental thing too.
It's a big mental thing.
Alcohol and drugs are just something that you can put on top of that to make it go away for a while. But it's like
it's a mental thing.
It's like it's a thinking problem. That's what they say. It's like a thinking.
It's kind of like I've been through it. Like after COVID, you know, mine's different. It wasn't, but it's just recovering from this, and like your body's not well, and you're trying to get better, and then mentally you start getting sad. And you're like, why am I not getting better? You know, why I'm happy I'm still alive. And then you lose the focus of, yo, I'm alive.
Yes,
You know, you're just worried about why you're not getting better. And it's like, hey, dude, you're alive. You could have been dead.
Dude, yeah. And when that happens, what I do is I got to call someone. I got to call someone and ask them how they're doing, what's going on, how are you doing? Because then it takes it off this pressure of me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, let me call this dude. See, hey, man, what's going on today? How you doing?
So,
calling, thanking you, seeing how it's going.
How do you, because our industry, I mean, every night you're in a bar with drugs around. You know what I mean? We work in comedy clubs.
Yeah.
You know? How hard is that to just stay away from that stuff? Because what I see you do at the Cellar, you crush, and then you kind of hang out with the guys, but then between shows, you go to your room. Is that on purpose, just so you're not around temptation, or you just
No, because like temptation is always gonna be there.
that's
like,
true.
Dude, liquor stores,
we're in a
liquor
casino.
stores are open, bro.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
like
true.
it's like there's always a guy that's gonna sell something, but like. It's like, you know, if I do this thing and if I do like my daily little routine, you know, it just doesn't bother me, you know, like I don't have that obsession anymore.
Oh,
where
good.
before it was like, I gotta get a drink.
Because that really becomes your confidence.
Yeah.
Right.
And
it, like you said, it takes.
It does. It's fake. It's a lie.
Yeah.
You know, you're just like, you take that, you get all confident. Oh, I can dance. It's like, no, you can't, dude. What are you doing? I can sing. I do karaoke, you know?
But
it's not, I'm not like against alcohol and drugs. Like, it's like, you know,
the abuse of it. You're against.
Exactly. You know, do what you need to do, whatever you want, you know, live and let live. Just like, if you got a problem, then like, get some help.
Well,
you know?
I also think people don't realize the highs and lows of comedy, and then why so many comics, I believe, get in depression, because people think it's glorious when you're on tour, right? You're in a club, but then you go to a hotel room, so by yourself. So how comics, you know, if you're not in the right mind, deal with that depression is they drink, they hang out at that bar that's at the club, because in that room you're rock star.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a rock star. Everybody there loves you. As soon as you go to your hotel room, you feel like, oh, I'm nothing again.
That loneliness. I hated that.
Dude,
I hated that silence of like just going in the room.
Because your mind's still going 100 miles per hour
Yeah,
after
and you're just kind of like sitting there and you're like, okay, I got to go to the bar.
Yeah, or
know,
something.
like,
yeah, I got to do something. Well, I'm glad you're out of that, because you're totally destroying.
No, I love it. It feels like getting rescued off the Titanic or something, man. Like, it's like, yeah, now I can focus on other things. I got this energy. I'm glad that you said that too, that my sets are better. Because I always like freak out. I'm like, I wonder if I was better when I was drinking. It's like, no, you weren't.
No, man. I mean, your sets are on fire, where I love to hear the roar of a crowd before I go on, because that excites me, right?
Yeah.
And I've been going after you, and like any comic that goes on, I usually go last, but it's great because I'm like, this dude's doing it. Like, because I remember a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when you used to come, it wasn't like this.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this. It wasn't as razor sharp. You know what I mean? There's something to it right now that, I mean, you're hitting that, you know, as long as you can keep adding material to that level, like it's monster right now. Monster.
Thanks,
bro.
man.
Dude,
Me too. You're always a crusher, Michael.
Dude,
like every time.
But this is not about me. This is about I'm so happy. I can't tell you how. That's why I wanted you on the podcast, because I wanted to give you your flowers and say, man, keep your head on straight, and big things are to come, because I feel like once people see you in this state, I mean, when acting comes back, you're going to start getting booked a lot. And because people are going to love you when they see you like this. You know what I mean?
Thanks, man.
There's a difference with you. You're focused, man. It's business.
I like it. It's definitely a better life.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a better life. What are you into besides like comedy? Like what's your off time like?
Oh, my off time, dude, doing I live by the beach, so I metal detect sometimes. I started
You
this.
totally look like a dude that would metal detect.
Yeah,
like if I saw you on the beach, I go, oh, that's appropriate.
Bro,
that
it's
just
so
looks
funny.
right.
Yeah, you have all these I got all these hobbies now and stuff. Like, you know, I'll go metal detecting.
You ever find anything cool?
No. I find a lot of Chipotle wrappers. It picks up aluminum. It picks up so much trash, man.
How'd you get into that?
How'd I get into it? I don't know. I think it's something I always wanted to do since I was a kid, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, you got the beach right there. I'm like, oh, I should get a metal detector. And the first thing I found was actually kind of cool. It was like this little old cross, from like the 70s that had like turquoise on it. And I haven't found anything cool since.
So how far deep does a metal detector pick up?
This thing, I think like 6 to 8 inches,
Okay.
Yeah, I got like a mid-level, like all right metal detector.
So there's ones that go way deeper.
Oh, bro, people get into it, man. They'll spend it's like a car. Like you can pay like a lot of money for a metal detector.
Really?
And there's this whole like social thing. Like if you see another metal detector, you gotta like stay out of their line and stuff because like your detector will set theirs off, and then they'll be like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Have you ever had a metal detector run in?
Oh, bro, all the time, man. It's
On
weird.
the beach?
Yeah, it's like whenever gang members see another gang, it's like, "Hey, where you from, fool?" It's like, "Hey, I'm just so."
Dude,
no, we're
make
cool.
it a bit. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You need to write that when you leave. Go, oh, I need to add this.
Yeah,
that's
I want to
funny.
mess around with that.
You know what's original? But like, I've never heard people talk about metal detecting. That's
Dude,
something you need to bring.
it's-
That's in the whole gang thing. Be like, what's up, fool? Like,
Yeah,
dude, that's
it's always
hilarious.
an old guy too,
Right?
Like
Right?
I'm the youngest metal detector. Like it's crazy.
That's great, man. I love that. I expect to see that tonight. Well, next time I see you,
I'll
a metal
do it.
detecting
Yeah.
bit.
You're going to Ontario tonight, right?
No, I leave tonight, but I'm Friday, Saturday.
Oh,
Sunday.
okay, cool.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. It's Labor Day weekend. It's gonna be tough,
Yeah,
but we're gonna have fun because I'm just there to work out my special, and I love after my special came out how many more people are coming out to shows. You know,
that's
what I mean?
awesome. Yeah,
It's such a great feeling, and that's next for you. It's next for you. Once you self-produce your
I'm
own
doing
special,
it October 14th.
Where?
I'm doing it at
Where?
the Bellflower Comedy Club.
Where's that at?
stand in Bellflower, California.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
I got a little crew. They got like Netflix quality cameras,
The FX, yeah.
pulling a lot of favors in.
That's what you
and
do?
Yeah, dude, just doing it, man.
How long is your set gonna be?
Probably like 45 to an hour.
So my suggestion: do your 45 to an hour, cut it down to 30, and then
Yes.
save that material. You don't even have to, or just cut 2 specials out of it.
Yeah.
Because right now, 30 minutes. Netflix has gone from 30 minutes to 15 minutes, and I heard rumors they're going to 7 minutes.
Really?
So they're just
they are doing a 7-minute.
So
thing,
they're
yeah.
just doing bits now. You know what I mean? So people don't have to focus. As soon as like people are like you and I, if you see 45 minutes on something, the first thing you think is like, I'm not watching all that.
God, yeah.
So I say mine was 27 minutes and it changed my life. 27.8. Something
Really?
like that. I would suggest doing a 25 to 30 minute special. Make sure it's very clippable. That's all you need. In the other material, save for tour
That's a good idea.
and work on that. You don't want to give everything.
No, I don't want to be given everything.
And like my thing is right now, I'm just working. Literally, I'm at 22 minutes. I already know because everything I'm gonna put in the special is I'm practicing on. I'm not gonna have any extra. You know what I mean? So as soon as I finish a 30, I'm recording. Then get a 30, I'm recording. So I'm not trying to go 45 and then save. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it out, and then what I do is after I tape it, hold it for 6 to 8 months, and once I have another like 15, 20, put it out.
Yeah.
So
No,
now
that's
I'm
a good
always
idea.
ahead, And
Yeah.
then sometimes you're going to find a bit out of nowhere that's like 12, 13 minutes long that just keeps going and going and going and going and going.
Yeah.
So that's what's exciting, So that's the business model I'm using, and I'm seeing a lot of people do it and successful. You know what I mean?
That's cool. No, I'm gonna do that, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
just clip it down.
Clip it
Yeah.
down.
Make
Don't
it clippable.
Don't make your special more than 30. Tape it long, but then cut it to 30 or
That's good.
25.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, what do you think about today's like craziness in the world as far as like UFOs? Are you a believer in the UFOs?
Oh yeah,
Aliens?
bro.
You're into that.
There's got to be something going on. I don't know if it's aliens. It could be a government thing, but dude, yeah. Every time I come to Vegas, I'm like looking in the sky, like, oh, I hope it happens now.
I'm so interested in Area 51. Yeah,
well, let's go.
No, you can't because my dad, he's an idiot. He tried to sneak into Area 51.
No, he didn't.
Probably
what?
about 15 years ago at like 60. He tried to sneak in to Area 51. I go, how far did you get? Well, we got as far as till they pulled their guns out on us.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. And I was like, why are you trying to sneak into Area
Yeah.
51? He goes, I've always been interested in it.
What happens when you get in?
I think that's just, if there is something, that's just they made that look like the place. And it's somewhere that's open that we see it's probably like in a building we all know that we walk by every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's in an old Office
it's in
Depot.
Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
Just people walking by it every single day.
Yeah,
and
man.
all the aliens are just in there, just like, underground. We just walk by it every single day.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, hey, look over this way.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
a fake out. It's a totally fake out.
Everyone knows about Area 51. Independence Day. You know, when that came out, it was like Area 51. Well, that's obviously where all the stuff is.
You think Will Smith's going to make a comeback after all that? Chris Rock stuff?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I just feel like the dude, he kind of like, everybody deserves. I mean, we all get second chances.
I know. I'm one of those guys now. Like, let him get a second chance.
Right?
Why
not? And life's so short. It is.
Yeah, but people, they say whenever people keep a little tablet of a record of you. Every person has a record of Michael Yo. It's written in stone.
It's crazy.
Well, something happens, it can't unhappen. You
Yeah,
know, but you
and
can
you gotta
just
just
try
keep
to
it
not.
moving.
Yeah.
And then when people go back in time and try to accuse you for something, like, look, if it's like against someone, like rape, or go back.
It's like,
but
whoa,
if it's like Eddie Murphy, they were making him apologize for his specials, Raw and Delirious.
Those specials were wild, man.
They
now,
do not.
if those came out,
They do
I'd be
not.
like,
They would
dude.
never come out.
No.
They do not hold up, right? They do not hold up. But at that moment, society was acceptable of that. So you can't blame him for the material when that was acceptable then. Just like if Eddie Murphy came out 100 years before that and had jokes about slavery. You know what I mean? It's like that was acceptable. It was wrong.
That's probably
now that we look at it today. But back then, guess what? A lot of people thought it was right, which is crazy to me. But when we're looking at it, it's kind of like, when you watch a football game the next day and you're the Monday morning quarterback, you go, that running back should have cut that way. How did he not see that hole?
Yes.
Because you're watching it on TV and it's not real time.
That's probably going to happen to my stuff when I talk about like fast food. It's like he was eating meat. I'm sorry. Everyone was eating meat back then. It was crazy.
It was a thing to do.
Yeah, we just ate meat, man. I'm sorry that eggs are being thrown at me like, oh, that's a life.
No, but things don't hold up. And that's why I think, especially for comedy, like Richard Pryor, Carla, they hold up because you could play one of their clips that still hits hard today and that you're still feeling today. It still applies to today. Yeah. And that's when comedy's good. That's what in the back of my mind, when I do something like my COVID story that started my last special, I know 50 years from now, somebody can find my special and go, wow, that's what it was like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love to every special make a time marker and go, this is how society was then. I talk, like in my new special, I'm gonna talk about the generations of my dad got beat, I got 4 spankings, and what's my son gonna say? Because I don't hit him. He's gonna be like, if he was a stand-up comic, he'd be like, yeah, you remember those guys that used to raise their voices at us? Like that's what my son's gonna say. And I'm fine with that, but things evolve. Like I could never do to my kid what my parents, what my dad did to me, or my mom. It just is not acceptable. So I'm not gonna hold them accountable for that time. You know what I mean? I'll be just like apologize, but I'm not gonna like say, "Oh, you're the worst parents ever." That was whatever. Our schools. You're from Texas.
Yeah.
They gave us pops.
Bro,
you remember that?
Okay, there was like going out, but there was this one teacher who had the paddle.
Yes.
And it was like, and this was when I was living, because I moved around so much as a kid, but I was living in like East Texas, like some podunk town. And it was like, dude, they still paddle here?
Dude.
This is crazy.
We had a teacher, this was intermediate. His name was Mr. Fairchild. And he was known as the Big Papa because he would hit. He took pride in hitting you so hard, it would echo in the hallways.
Oh my God.
And what's crazy is our parents were okay with other people hitting us.
Yeah, it was
You know
all
what I
right.
mean? They were
Yeah.
all right. That I should talk about that, but they were okay with a random dude
Yeah, some dude.
paddling us.
Yeah.
Because they thought, I don't know, it was very weird. Like if a person laid their hands on my kids, I would go nuts.
Yeah.
That's how times changed.
Well, because before it was like, what did you do? And now it's like, what did they do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's good or bad. I think it's good, but it's weird times. But things
That's
evolve.
crazy. Yeah. My mom didn't. My mom, she tried to spank me. I would run, dude. And my mom, she was a heavy woman. So I would outrun her, but it's like, she's going to, you'll be sleeping and all of a sudden,
Bam!
You got me.
What's been the worst bomb on stage you've had that you were sober for?
Oh, that I was sober for?
Or when you first started?
Worst bomb on stage. Oh my God, dude. Me and Pablo Francisco did this gig at a, for like it was a corporate gig for like some burrito place, and they were all just drunk, and they didn't have a good sound system. And it was like, it's still, I think, that improv gig where I got booed off stage, that was the worst. But yeah, this place, it was like in a little hotel conference room, and they were not having it.
Dude, I tell you, conferences. I've done one conference that was amazing. The other ones, the problem with conferences is people trying to impress their boss. There's a bunch of bosses there. Mm-hmm. So if the boss doesn't laugh, the people don't laugh. Because they don't want to act a fool in front of their bosses. So it's kind of like this.
Oh, these people, I guess there was no boss there or something.
They just
or
went
the
all
boss
wild.
was drunk too. Yeah, they were just insane, dude.
Yeah. Conferences in colleges are the worst for me. I stopped doing colleges and corporate events. It has to be like a fun event. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where the bosses are cool and it's just they're there to have fun, not kiss up.
You gotta have a good sound system too.
Yeah, man. All right, so where you at? Anything you want to promote?
Just doing that October 15th if you're around town. October 14th, Bellflower.
Bellflower.
The stand-up comedy club in Bellflower. I got my Instagram, just Dustin Ybarra with a Y.
Oh, and your hot dog thing.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about it real quick.
I do Weenie Tip Wednesday.
Okay.
I started this little hot dog review thing. It just is like something to do, you know?
So explain it. You just take one bite out of it or you eat the whole thing?
Oh, I'll eat the whole thing. Yeah, I'll take a bite, then I'll talk about it, and then I'll try to do like a little funny sketch leading into it and stuff. And yeah, it's just like I just started doing it randomly. And then I missed it one Wednesday, and they're like, "Where's Weenie Tip Wednesday?" I'm like,
Weenie Tip Wednesday.
Yeah, Weenie Tip Wednesday.
Just the Tip Wednesday.
Yeah.
So what's the best hot dog that you've had so far?
The best hot dog, I mean, dude, I had this one the other day. It was here in town, the Steamy Weenie. It was really good. It was called the Savage. It was like brown mustard and grilled onions with blue cheese and bacon wrap weenie. It was pretty amazing.
It sounds like it would kill you, but it's delicious.
I'm dying right now.
Yeah, you're dying inside.
But yeah.
All right, Dustin, thank you so much for stopping by,
Thanks, bro.
My man. All right, and you, make sure you click, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and check out my tour calendar, Cleveland, Boston, and then I'm doing my first theater in Denver, so that's going to be awesome. Thank you so much for the support. Later.